Hello friends, Mew here, and it's Pride Month, a whole month dedicated to celebrating the LGBTQ plus community. Rainbows are everywhere and pride parades are making their way through cities around the world. But what's that got to do with Pokemon? Well, there's a character in the Sun and Moon games that I felt kinship with, that I related to in my interpretation of them on the LGBTQ plus spectrum. Let me explain. You may have noticed that this channel contains a lot of three colours: purple, white, green. That's not just because of my love for the Riddler, my sweet trickster boy. They're actually the colours of the genderqueer flag, which refers to a gender identity existing outside the binary of male and female. Non-binary is a similar term, give them a Google if you want to learn more. Anyway, this is my identity, but you didn't come here for that. As a Pokemon character, I believe it shares this identity, and that is how. First, look at those clothes. Baggy shirt, baggy shorts. Baggy clothes in a tropical place such as Alola doesn't really make sense, but non-binary people often wear clothing that obscures their silhouette, giving them an androgynous figure that's hard to define at first glance. If How were assigned female at birth, they may be using their bagginess of the shirt to hide a chest binder to flatten their chest. And while we're looking at How, let's have a look at the hair. How is rocking a lovely messy top knot, which, on its own, can either look androgynous or slightly male depending on your interpretation. But artists have drawn what they think How would look like with their hair down, which looks a lot more feminine. I think How has chosen this hairstyle not only because they rock it very well, but because it allows them to express both a masculine and a feminine profile. I'm not going to touch on the shoes, because How? Really? Crocs? Honey, come on. Let's talk pronouns. In my playthrough of Moon, I noticed that 9 times out of 10, people didn't use a pronoun for How. They simply referred to them as How. Maybe How specifically asked people not to use pronouns, maybe this is a new development and people are using their name to avoid slipping up. Both realistic and highly possible explanations. The only exception to this is Halla, who refers to How as his grandson. Now, from my experience and talking to other people, grandparents slipping up with pronouns and names is a common experience, not only with LGBTQ plus people, but with everyone. How often has your grandparent accidentally called you by the wrong name? Heck, my mum confuses my name with my sister, her friends, even her cats sometimes. We've got to give Halla some leeway. Finally, their name. How. How is a Polynesian name coming from the Maori word for wind. This is, of course, important because Polynesia contains Hawaii, the basis for Alola. So How's name means wind, so what? Well, let's jump from Polynesia back to Japan, since it's not a huge stretch to think that a Japanese company would use some Japanese philosophy in their naming. In Japanese philosophy, the 5 elements all represent something, and wind represents freedom. Freedom for How to be whoever How wants to be. Freedom from binaries. Freedom for How to be How. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Have a good Pride Month. And as always, love you, bye.